Here we go. We're live.
We're live.
We're live.
We're live, pal.
Mm.
Have we done that joke before? Probably have.
Yes, every single time.
Probably, yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pro Wrestling Roll-Up. It's TMOF Wrestling podcast. We're back.
We're back again.
We're back. How long's it been? You got fluff on your head?
Where?
Oh, I ain't touching it. It's still there. It's right there. Look. There you go. That's better. TMOF Wrestling, the Pro Wrestling Roll-Up. We don't have much of a plan for this one.
Do we ever?
No, not really. But we got nothing today.
No.
So we're just going to talk and ramble.
Yeah. I'm Ash, by the way, if you don't know who we are.
And I'm Russ. Welcome, everybody, to the show. Wrestling then.
Yeah. There's been a lot happening lately.
What's been going on?
Well, want to talk about Blood and Guts? Have you seen any of it?
I've only seen clips. So Blood and Guts was last night. The whole show looked like it was because it was the culmination for the Owen Hart, not the Owen Hart, the blind tag tournament.
Yeah, which is a weird tournament considering one of them was not actually blind. The fact that the tag teams was Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia, who were on the same team.
Okay, right. I thought you meant actually blind.
No.
But yeah, that was a sort of, I suppose, a predictable outcome.
Yeah, but what does it lead to?
Don't know. I guess maybe All In.
No, I mean, like, was
MJF.
this a tournament to be the next tag contenders, or is it a tournament just to be a tournament?
I think the whole point of the blind tag tournament was just to have, it's just to give us something a little bit different in an MJF rivalry.
I guess.
So I can't see any reason that they're not going to do MJF and Adam Cole at All In Wembley.
It should be in Wembley, but we'll see.
I think it will be because it's only a week after that they're doing All Out, right?
Yeah, they've announced one match because of Rampage spoilers, which I don't know if you want to talk to. Hello, Jake.
Hello, Jake. Welcome to the show. Yeah, I just think it's just the whole thing is just a device to like just build that really, and then All Out, of course, obviously Chicago, and if they're still going to go with Punk and MJF at All Out, maybe because I don't know if you're going to do Punk and Starks maybe at All In, or
after what happened with the tournament, I can't see why not.
I'm a bit. That's what surprised me a bit. Turning Ricky Starks heel again so soon.
Yeah, but I was more surprised he won.
I'm glad. I think Punk winning was a bit too.
Yeah, because my complaint last year was it was people, the obvious winners, and it was not pushing anyone new. This time we got Rillo, and we've got Ricky Starks, I think Starks probably needs it a little bit more than you think, because he feels like he's been.
Starks needs something.
If it was like
he needs more than that.
Yeah, they don't want to be Wardlow
or Powerhouse Hobb.
True.
It's going to be. We're going to upset the AEW fans. We've got to stop doing that.
Yeah, because otherwise.
I like AEW by and large, but it's just, it's one of those. I've got to say though, I disagree with not pushing people that didn't need it, because that's. I mean, you can't really win with that, can you? Adam Cole goes to AEW, and the criticism is he's not being pushed like properly. He's not what he was in NXT. Then he wins that, and it's like, well, he didn't need to win that, did he? You can't win, can you?
He didn't really need it. For me, a tournament really should be elevating someone who, like the King of the Ring.
Yeah, but Adam Cole is that's the problem though. AEW's big thing is sometimes relying too much on the smart fan knowing who people are.
Yeah, and
chances are, Adam Cole had never had main roster exposure.
Well, he had a brief. Not really. He had a brief little run because of the
plane incident.
But
yeah, but he didn't have like main roster profile.
No, because
it's NXT, and if you weren't watching that, then Adam Cole needs to be pushed. Like, why is Adam Cole a big deal? Because he had a massive debut at All Out. What was that? 2 years ago now? 3 years? 3 years? No, 2 years.
2021.
Yeah. Which was still, I think, AEW's best show.
Until Wembley, hopefully.
I
haven't watched any Collision, but I've heard that FTR versus Bullet Club Gold 2 out of 3 falls is really good.
I think I like the idea of Collision. I like the set.
Well, once again, my only thing about it is it's supposed to be a big thing, but it feels like they've only pushed 6 people.
Yeah, but again, like, how much can you push?
I know it's early,
how much can you do in, like, what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? You know, it's always better. Scott Steiner's outside.
Yeah.
There's only
better not be Rick.
Oh, don't do it. Yeah, there's only so much you can do, isn't there? But I like Collision. The set's really good.
Yeah.
Jake's saying
theme song's good because it's out on John.
Well, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Saturday night's all right for fighting.
You got to lean into the fact that it's on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I think, the set's really nice. The overall, like, it looks different to Dynamite, and that's what it needed to be.
Yeah.
Because I think that was what I was kind of hoping for when they first debuted Rampage, a couple of years ago, because it didn't really stand out so much.
No.
I think that obviously that's not what done Rampage in, really. I mean, like, Rampage is more, the problem with it is
it's taped and they do matches that you could probably put on Duck.
I don't think the tape thing's the issue. Like NXT, like the glory days of NXT, and that's not to say NXT's bad now or anything like that, but like best period of NXT for me was kind of in that 2017, 2018 into kind of 2019 of like, when like you've got like Gargano and Ciampa kind of rivaling and that like amazing rivalry and everything there. But that era of NXT, it's once a week and it's an hour. It's easy viewing. It's, everything was good week to week. And even the things that weren't quite as solid, it's fine. It was only an hour.
Yeah.
That's always going to be, I think, my sort of little gripe on wrestling at the minute is just that there's so much of it, which again is ironic because when you're younger, like you can't get enough of it. And now we're in this age where you've got all this access to everything. It's just a bit overwhelming. Like there's not enough time in the day to kind of appreciate it all or watch it all, really.
That is true.
But yeah, I think Rampage didn't really stand out from Dynamite, whereas now Dynamite, Collision, they look very different. They feel different. Biggest acquisition for AEW, I think, recently, it came out yesterday or the day before, but Ian Riccaboni
has
now signed a multi-year deal, and he's like one of my absolute favourite announcers right now. He's brilliant. I love Riccaboni. And I don't think I was glad that it wasn't just the Ring of Honor stuff either.
He's on Collision, isn't he?
Yeah, he's playing a big part in Collision. So yeah, we've got to give Collision time really to see what it's like.
Even though, what was it, the second or third week got like 500,000 views, or maybe less than that, and people are like laughing.
What's that, Collision?
Yeah, I think it was the same day as Money in the Bank. Their money, the same day they did Collision and Money in the Bank.
I just don't know why people care.
I don't understand.
Why don't you just watch what you want to watch?
It's just petty people being petty. It's kind of like watching the product.
I know. I don't care what TV ratings are.
I don't
work at it.
It's like
I'm just watching the wrestling.
It's
it doesn't bother me.
Like the movie The Flash is going to be the biggest superhero flop of all time. It's from what I've heard.
But that's because of the actor, isn't it?
I don't think it's something to do with that. I think it's the fact that
it's massively to do with that.
But nah,
because there was a big boycott thing because of the.
I don't think
his name is. What is his name?
Is that Isla Miller? Something like that. Isla Miller. Another movie that is going to do badly is Indiana Jones. That's done bad, but I don't think it's anything to do with any of the actors or anything like that. I just think people don't want to see it anymore. I
know we're going a bit off tangent with wrestling, but I've got to say, I don't want to be one of those guys, but like there's a big problem there right now, like Disney and Lucasfilm and all that sort of stuff. Like that, the biggest problem with that, and without any spoilers to anyone that's not seen the new Indiana Jones and wants to see it, they've got this thing where they insist on taking an old beloved character,
Indiana Jones,
and making them like so far removing them from what they used to be. Because like Luke Skywalker was a big one, and this is a big one with Indiana Jones. Again, no spoilers for anything, but like it just doesn't fit the character. It doesn't fit the character. We don't need to see grumpy old men. I want Indiana Jones. I don't quite want refrigerator Indiana Jones getting saved by a nuke. Although there is something that's even worse than that in the new one, but you have to go and watch it. But yeah, that's a big thing. And like Disney in general, you get a bit because like we've got MCU now. I loved MCU up to the point where I think like I haven't really cared about it since the last Spider-Man. And that was like purely that nostalgia.
I think that was the last MCU movie I actually watched.
Yeah, it was for me. Well, in the cinema. But again, I think the same thing with wrestling. There's just too much now.
There is because
you've got Disney Plus where There's a new series coming out almost like every other week.
Yeah, Secret Invasion's just come out. The Marvels are coming out.
It's a lot. And if you, especially MCU, where you've got all of this stuff, like for everything to make sense really to where you are, you kind of need to, I mean, you've got to go back to like the very beginning, which is 2008 of Iron Man, and then all the way up. And then you include all the other stuff now because they, bought everything else out. So you include the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, obviously Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and the X-Men, I guess, now as well.
Yeah, because Deadpool is going to be, the new Deadpool that's being stocked in a minute is rumored to have like Professor X. You got Elektra from Daredevil. Apparently, Ben Affleck as Daredevil is going to happen again.
That's the run we're on at the minute, isn't it? We've got to do the whole multiverse thing. But yeah, right. Coming back into wrestling then.
Actually, one thing before I do this.
Well, all right. I mean, if you want to.
There's an actors' strike.
I thought it was a writer's strike. It's an actors' strike.
Actors' strike as well. There's a possibility that because they're not making any more movies, The Rock might appear at SummerSlam. Because that Grayson Waller thing, you're teasing a feud with The Rock.
I don't think anyone wants to see that, though, do they? If you're going to get The Rock in, it's got to be with Roman Reigns.
Yeah, just saying.
If you've got a big bloodline match at SummerSlam, so you're going to put The Rock in that, surely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that match. I'm looking forward to SummerSlam in a minute.
Right. From Jake, thoughts on Dom winning the NXT belt? Well, the North American Championship.
Yeah.
I think the thoughts are going to be pretty clear on this, aren't they?
Loved it.
Absolutely.
it's
the Condom should win everything.
It's making me think, will Balor win the title at SummerSlam? So you have them be like, Evolution was a no-free.
I was so close with the predictions for Money in the Bank. Like, when I said I should have stuck with Damian Priest, really. I was like I said at the time, LA Knight winning felt like it was going to be the most obvious move, and not that it would have been a bad thing. The fact that Damian won, like I said, like that was my second pick.
It was my second pick. Yeah.
It's make total sense. But it's obviously again like another sort of plot device to be able to drive forward that wedge between Judgment Day members Finn and Damian. But if Finn Balor wins it, like I said, if that could have happened at Money in the Bank and then Damian cashes in, if Finn Balor wins it at SummerSlam, I think Damian cashes in straight away. Because the story, like, is still Finn's upset that, he got injured and he had that Universal title run for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
So if Damian costs him, like an even shorter run, like gets it for like literally 5 minutes, there's a story there, isn't it? Armchair booking, that's what we like to do.
Apparently Seth Rollins is hurt, but I don't know if it's like a storyline hurt or it's a real hurt.
Bailey's hurt again, isn't she?
Yeah, I don't know how bad that is because obviously the Io Sky storyline with her holding the Money in the Bank briefcase, and
we've got a unique situation unfolding in the comments. Jay, of course, the one of the other hosts for this, unfortunately couldn't be with us today, has very important commitments, really, because child commitments.
Yes,
got to have it. But he's with us, not in spirit, but in the comments.
Hey,
he's there. It's his intro.
Yeah. By the way, I did see this. I did see David Benoit was in the crowd for Collision because I think they're in.
Say he was in the comments.
In Collision, in the crowd for Collision. It's scary because he does look like Chris Benoit.
Well, yeah, he does. I think that's why nobody wants to hire him, isn't it?
I think he's been backstage at WWE before, but I don't think they can have him on screen. But
Jay calling for Rock Roman at Mania. That's what we all want. It's got to happen, and that's a Mania match. Jay says, yeah, it just looks like him. It is the problem. David Benoit looking exactly like Chris Benoit is the reason people won't hire him. The chance he's got is like places like XPW that will book anyone.
Yeah.
So like anything like... But it shouldn't be like that, should it? And I think that's what's really sad about it. Like it's not his fault, and he's got to suffer for.
Because even if you put him, even if they become a wrestler, even if you put him under a mask, people just go, "No, it's him." I reckon.
Yeah, but even if you put him under a mask, then is he just going to do the what was Benoit's mask in it?
Pegasus Kid.
Pegasus Kid. Well, Tiger Mask. Yeah, Pegasus Kid. So he can't do that. He's in a lose-lose situation.
Yeah. I don't know if he wants to be a wrestler. I think he was trained.
He won. Well, I mean, I don't know if his stance has changed on it, but in an interview he did with Chris Van Vliet probably about 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I remember
He
that one.
was. There was no other way. That's his goal in life. The problem that he had, that he was saying in there, and I can see how that would have put loads of people off, is that it's not just that he looks like his dad, and he looks like Chris Benoit, but he said obviously he's still got all of Chris Benoit's wrestling gear, so he wanted to wear Chris Benoit's actual tights.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's not going to work, is it? I don't think that. But
because even if he did work for AEW, say, they can't call him. They can't talk. Can they? I guess they have no restrictions about saying Benoit, can they?
Well, nobody's got a restriction about saying Benoit. It's just
like,
that WWE obviously didn't want to mention the name because it ties that with, you know, a company that's public. Because you can't exactly like risk glorifying a murderer.
Because there was I can't remember if it was like a live interview with Kurt Angle on TNA when he was in TNA. But I can't remember who he was talking about. He said, "You can remind me of Chris Benoit," and I think it's Jimmy Boris just goes, "Benoit, can't say that."
I don't know.
It's like in a radio interview said the word Benoit. And he's like, "I don't know, I meant to say this name, but he helped me, so why not?" He might be returning at SummerSlam. Orton, not Benoit.
No, he definitely isn't.
It was Slammiversary last week.
I've not caught up with Impact for ages.
I can't tell you every single result, but they had the return of Eric Young.
Oh, that reminds me. I read about apparently there was the plan for the Wyatt family to do like a new Wyatt family, and it was going to be Scott Steiner's back. It was going to be Bray Wyatt, Eric Young,
Mike Bennett. Mike Bennett?
Was it Mike Bennett?
I think Mike Bennett was going to be one of them.
And Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, with Bo Dallas.
Oh, Bo Dallas, yeah. So, but yeah, I think if I remember this right, somebody didn't want to do it because it doesn't feel right because like Luke Harper, obviously Brody Lee not being there.
The reason why Eric Young's at Impact now, even though he got stabbed,
he got killed off,
but Mickey James got killed off. So
that's true. Tara Valkyrie got arrested, didn't she?
Yeah, but she's not back in. She's not gone back there yet. That's
one thing, regardless of what you can say or not say about Impact Wrestling, but that silly stuff, it's their thing now, isn't it? Like they owed it.
Yeah.
I just wish they'd have the 6-sided ring back.
Yeah. The reason why Eric Young left, because he came back to WWE for a bit, was because he doesn't want to work with Vince.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I don't blame him for that.
No, well, it didn't go very well the first run, did it? And he's not old, but he's not young. Like in wrestling standards, he's got more years behind him than he does in front in ring.
It's been he was there like 20 years ago at least, so it's not like he was. But you had the return of Josh Alexander from injury, challenging. I think it's Alex Shelley who's a champion, isn't he?
I think Shelley, what current champ? Yes.
Yeah, because Chris Sabin lost the X Division Championship to Leo Rush on the show.
Leo Rush. Who's had more retirements? Terry Funk or Leo Rush?
I think it's a tie, isn't it?
It's a tie.
Might be Leo.
I saw a picture of Terry Funk recently.
Yeah, I saw a picture.
Mick Foley went to see him recently. I think if that's what I'm thinking.
I think was it his birthday?
Yeah, he's looking in much better health.
He is looking better.
We love Terry, and if you don't believe us, go and watch your impression.
I tried to do it, but nah, I can't.
Love Terry Funk.
Another thing about him that happened on Summerversary was actually was defending the title against Nick Aldis, and he actually won. And then we find out it was Aldis's last match. Yeah, it was on his contract. So apparently, the rumor is that WWE want Nick Aldis, but not as a wrestler, as a producer.
I could see that.
Wouldn't you want him as a wrestler, though?
Depends if that's what he wants to do, I suppose. I think there was talk about him joining WWE a while back, but I think there was an issue in Nick's words. It was basically implied that I think because of the history between John Cena and Mickey James. That he was being blocked from.
Well, the internet thing was that WWE didn't want to do a indie wrestler. They wanted to
the same time as they signed Low Key.
No, I mean like this is like in the last year.
What was Low Key's name in WWE?
Caval.
Caval, that was it.
Do you remember when he knocked out Dolph Ziggler?
Yeah.
And then apparently Dolph Ziggler that same day had sex with Sunny. According to her, anyway. Don't know how true that is. She said it in a shoot interview.
So yeah, Jake thinks the 6-sided ring's going to be back.
They were going to bring it back, weren't they?
Well, they should bring it back.
But that was before the pandemic, so definitely they did it.
I think from the wrestler's perspective, it's not like the 4-sided ring's nicer to bump in because it's got more give with the spring. Because I remember Sting saying that, but
yeah,
the 6-sided. I suppose the thing is, like, Impact has become so far removed from TNA now.
Yeah, so different.
They kind of feel like they are two totally different companies. I mean, well, they kind of are, aren't they? But like it doesn't really feel like they like one led into the other. But I've seen a lot more clips recently of the old, well, I say old TNA, like 2006, 7.
At their peak.
It was really, yeah. I've very underappreciated, I think, back then. For like,
I'd like to see some of that again.
Yeah, well, most of the full shows are on YouTube now. On
which I like,
which is great. Yeah.
They should bring it back.
Everybody in unison. Jay says they should definitely bring back the 6-sided ring. They should. The only reason they got rid of it on that first run was because of Hogan and Bischoff when they first went in.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be a really exciting thing because, like, they brought in... Who did they bring in? They brought in Van Damme.
Val Venus for a little bit.
Well, I mean, I was trying to, like, talk about
I know.
All right, cool. So, yeah, Mr. Kennedy, well, Mr.
Anderson.
There was more.
Matt Hardy came in that early first month.
Was he a part of that, like, collection of people there, that group?
In the first few months,
I felt like it was a big group. I can't remember who was in it. Van Damme was like been the biggest one though.
They brought in Elijah Burke as the Pope, which actually worked out better than.
I've never really heard much sort of said about Elijah Burke other than Punk saying once he was difficult to work with.
Desmond Wolfe,
Desmond Wolfe. Some Wrestling Channel nostalgia going on.
I do miss it.
In the chat, Jay says 3PW.
Yeah, 1PW.
1PW.
Well.
Was 1PW actually? Oh, it was.
That was the UK one.
That was Johnny's. Yeah, but the old 1PW before it went all whatever. There's been more drama with 1PW recently as well.
What's happened now? So
the owner is the best way to put this.
Oh God, he's not out of money, has he?
So there's a history with the owner, with the promoter, financial wise. There was an issue. Mm-hmm. I think the story was going around that he basically ran off with the money after, like, on this new, kind of like revival, I guess, of 1PW. But he has since put out another statement that they're now. I think it's because like some of the other shareholders and I think that one of the co-owners has like left.
All right.
There's been a big thing. There's obviously something going on, and yeah, people were a bit about it. So, but. British wrestling promotions, isn't it?
A crowd fighting 1PW. That wasn't one you went to, was it?
No, that was the. I think that was the one after. I don't think that was at the Engine Shed in Lincoln. This was one that was in Doncaster. What happened at the end of the show was, so Will Ospreay was against Bobby Fish.
Oh yeah.
And it was for the 1PW Heavyweight Championship. I'm sure it was a show, but yeah, there was the crowd. Some people in the crowd were a bit drunk, and a bit of a fight broke out, sort of near the front row. And what happened was there was like a little 7-year-old boy in the front, and he kind of got caught up in it.
All right.
So Will jumped out of the ring and pulled him out from the crowd to sort of get him away from the fight. And then whilst they broke all that up and sent them out, and then to Will's credit, he brought a kid in the ring and gave him like a really nice moment with the belt, and the kid was all happy and smiles and stuff. But again, like. It's good to go and enjoy and have a drink and stuff when you go and watch wrestling, but
I think people do take it a bit too seriously.
Some people just get a bit too much. Yeah, I mean, my experience with 1PW was one of probably the best British wrestling show I've been to. Like, I really, really enjoyed it, and people having drinks, meeting people, talking to people, having a good time, no trouble. But there's always a few that can cause it. But that's what happened with that. Yeah,
because when I went to the WWE house show in Birmingham. There was like some crowd trouble during the after the tag team title match. I think it was before the interval, but it was all fine. Like some people nearly getting crushed, but Orton and Riddle were helping out. So it's not the same, but a little bit different.
No, Not the same, but a little bit different.
Mm.
Jay's calling you out on your shirt.
Yeah, Mug Guinness, not Guinness. Come on.
Are you two going to have beef over? Oh, has this ever been done before?
It could have.
There's going to be beefing going on between chat and you.
Well, I'm hungry for some beef now, actually.
Well, you could have got some food, couldn't you?
I ate before I left. So.
Could have went to a superstore
No.
that may or may not be called Tesco on the way, couldn't you?
Could have,
but you didn't. So,
what else is there? Brian Pillman Jr. left at AEW and apparently was at the Performance Center the next day.
Not surprised, really. He wasn't really doing much at AEW, was he?
No.
Outside of that sort of angle he did with MJF a couple of years ago, or a year ago. Was it a year ago or 2 years ago?
Don't know.
I bet it was a couple of years ago, but that was like the last big thing he had, wasn't it?
It would have been.
Well, I suppose the what were they called? Him and Jungle Man?
Jungle Boy?
No, Jungle Man. Griff Garrison.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Them and then Julia. And then she obviously joined up with...
It was like the West Hollywood Blondes, right? Or something like that?
The Hollywood Blondes?
It was like something like that, weren't it?
Because of Varsity Blondes.
Varsity Blondes, yeah.
Varsity Blondes. What we got going on?
Yeah, whatever, Jay.
Your hair's been called into question.
Oh, it is.
When are you going to just get rid of the whole lot?
Or do a Shotzi? Or do you want to talk about that?
Shotzi's gone bald?
Yeah, you've not seen SmackDown?
No.
I
haven't seen that. I just watched clips.
Because the week or two before, she got attacked by Bailey and Io Sky, and they cut a bit of her hair. And then last week, she did a bit where she's in control. She's I'm in control while shaving her hair. And the reason why they've done that is because apparently her sister's got cancer, so it's doing its support.
Okay. So that's like her Shotzi's sister?
Yeah, so her sister's got it, so she's shaving her head in support. So,
right, okay. Well, I suppose that's nice. And they'll just work it into an angle then.
Yeah,
I was going to say the angle itself reminds me of one of my all-time favorite wrestling angles ever.
Nightmare Collective.
The Nightmare Collective.
Yeah.
What happened to the Nightmare Collective?
Awesome Kong had to do that glow thing on Netflix.
Yeah, but
it never came back.
I wasn't sure about AEW at first, and then as soon as I saw Awesome Kong collecting people's hair, I was in. And then he just dropped it for no reason. What a shame.
Yeah, because they had that, then they had the Dark Order. What else? There was another dark gimmick, wasn't there? That
well, there's loads now, isn't there? You got House of Black.
Yeah.
You still got Dark Order, kind of.
I don't know if they heal a face after what they did on Rampage with the Elite, but
who knows?
Oh, fuck.
By
the way, what was the difference between dark and real, Jay? Just let us know. What was the difference? Anyway.
So for context for those that are only listening to this, do you want to give some or?
Nah.
All right then. So Ash has essentially asked Jay what the difference between Dark Adonis and Adonis was, and there is a story there, and it pertains to backyard wrestling. But there will be something coming on that
soon.
At some point. There you go. I've Tipp-X'd it.
Yeah.
So there is something we should talk about.
Go on.
Because I've got a scenario for you, which is a bit earlier than we normally would.
All right.
But we play a game, and we're going to play it in the comments as well. FMK, of course, everyone knows a good game of FMK.
Yes, we do.
This is the wrestling edition, and we don't have any better names for it at the moment. We tried Then Now Forever.
I don't think it works still.
Doesn't really work. So, but the rules are as followed. There will be 3 wrestling matches, and you have to pick one that you watch forever. You can watch it forever. There's one that you can only watch once, but you get to watch it live. That's the same sort of thrill as F, right? And then one that you'd never, ever watch again.
Yeah.
Ever. Do it again.
Ever again.
Just one more time.
No.
Go on, do it. 3 times a charm. Come on.
No, it's not.
You've got to do it.
Ever. There you go.
That's a bit creepy, wasn't it? That's everybody. No one ever is going to watch or listen to ASMR ever again.
Good. They shouldn't.
Okay. So, all right, your 3 matches are as followed. I've got to try and think. I don't want to repeat ones I've done before, but I can't remember which ones I said before.
Well, is there any show that you've watched lately, or like a wrestler that you've been watching matches of lately that you can go, here's a collection of 3 of my favourites and see what you think?
Yeah.
Go on then.
David Arquette.
He only did one match, didn't he?
No, he had that. Did you not see that death match he did with Nick Gage?
I know about it. I haven't seen it.
Oh, yeah, he nearly died. It's big, yeah, blood. Like I think he got an artery or something.
Yeah. I'll give you 3 then.
I'm going to give you 3 first.
All
And
right,
you give me 3.
all
All right. Here's your 3. You get. I'm pretty sure I've used this before, but I'm going to go for Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, WrestleMania 10.
I think we use it, but go on.
Okay, well, it's there. So Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, WrestleMania 10.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 21.
Ooh.
And I don't want to use the same guys again. Edge versus Undertaker, WrestleMania 24.
Ooh. So Watch Forever.
Jay is in the comments. Jay is you'll see 7 Lives game in the comments. That is Jay. Jay unfortunately is unable to join us in person today due to parental commitments, which is obviously very fair enough. But he is here, not just in spirit, but he is in the comments also. There he is.
There he is.
Keeping everybody company, monitoring the comments. Yeah, those are your 3.
Yes.
So
okay,
you've got Owen Hart versus Bret Hart, WrestleMania 10. You've got Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 21, and Undertaker Edge, WrestleMania 24. You can watch one forever.
Uh-huh.
You can watch one once and it's live, and then one you'll never watch again.
Forever, May 21.
Okay, yeah.
Watch live, May 24. And not because I don't like it, May 10, never again.
Wow. Okay. This depends on your stance, doesn't it?
Yeah, because we've talked about May 24 being one of the best world title matches ever.
It was, yeah.
I think it was our number 1.
Yeah. I can't remember what number 1 was.
I think it was number 1. It was either that or the Edge and Christian.
Christian
and
Orton. Yeah, SummerSlam. Right, Jake's gone for Undertaker, Edge live, same as you. Kurt, yeah, all the same.
Yeah.
But Owen and Bret goes in the bin.
Unfortunately, because it's a great match.
4 out of 10.
Yeah.
4 What was that from? That was Hell in a Cell, wasn't it?
Yeah, May 28.
Do you know, I think I'd probably go the same. Because I mean, obviously there's been some really good WrestleMania matches since now.
Yeah.
But Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels was my favourite WrestleMania match for a long time.
It's because that's a really good Mania. Because you got the first Mania in the Bank, that's really good.
Yep.
The Orton Taker match is really good.
Yep.
Obviously that one.
Weirdly, the 2 world title matches were massive, like considering what they did for WWE going forwards. But they were probably like 2 of my least favorite matches on the card.
Because because it was meant to be Batista was meant to be the guy, not instead of Cena.
Yeah.
Because
that changed, didn't it?
Yeah. Because the Cena JBL match isn't that great, but you can see what Cena would become later on. Batista Triple H, I've not seen it in a while, but I remember it being good. But I think the Hell in a Cell match was much better later in the feud. What else was there on that? The Rey Mysterio Eddie Guerrero match was good, but not as good as the WCW matches.
But it was still good.
It was still good.
Yeah, it was still good. It's a fairly good Mania, isn't it, really? But we've had so many now.
Big Show in the sumo wrestling.
Yeah, that's probably not going to be... That probably won't make a top 10.
Go on then. Who was Trish Stratus facing in that women's title match?
Mania 21?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
Do you know who Trish Stratus was facing?
WrestleMania 21?
Yeah.
That is a good question. Was it Christy Hemme, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's really...
With Lita in her corner.
Yeah, I was going to say, Christy Hemme was going to be a big deal. The ref. It was the ref.
Probably Mike Yoda.
Mike Yoda. No, Charles Robinson.
Might have been.
Charles Robinson. If in doubt, Charles Robinson.
So, okay, I'll give you some free matches. I'll go for...
Got him.
I want to do this one, but I don't know if you've seen it. The Diesel match at Mania 12 with Undertaker.
Yeah.
The Sid match at Mania 13.
These all Undertaker ones.
Yeah, and the Kane one at 14.
Oh, okay.
Because I've been watching Wrestling with Regret, and this year he did 12, 13, and 14 in a row. Well, reviewing.
The thing is, I'm going to bin Taker and Sid.
Okay.
I'll never watch that one. I could quite happily not watch that one again. I really like Undertaker Kane's first outing at 14. I think it's really good. So I just don't, like being there live for that would be awesome. But I think out of all of it, because that's my favorite one, I think I'd have to watch that one forever, and I'd watch Taker and Diesel. Like it's the thing is, like I say, I like that match. Like, it's not one of Taker's best matches by far. It's not even one of Kevin Nash's best matches by far.
No, but
it's kind of slow in a lot of different places, and it's two big men, but they do some really good stuff.
Yeah,
for big men in it. I think I'd watch that one live, and yeah, I'd go for Mania 14, Kane Taker forever.
Well, I'd watch forever Mania 12 because Kevin Nash says shit. He's telling you. He says that in the entrance. Well, it's off the network. I'd like to see Mania 14 live because of the entrance and like the build up to all that kind of stuff, and seeing Kane's debut with debut Mania with Taker.
Yeah,
and obviously 13. And apart from the
13's a train wreck.
Yeah, apart from the obvious Stone Cold Bret Hart and even the street fight between Legion of Doom and Ahmed Johnson against Nation Domination. Apart from those two matches, that Mania 13 is probably like one of the worst Manias of all time.
Oh, Ahmed Johnson. It would have been good if they booked him and Ron Simmons on it. Not Ron Simmons. Yeah, no, Ron Simmons. No, not Ron Simmons. Yeah, Ron Simmons.
Ron Simmons was already there.
Yeah, but I mean, like just him and Ahmed when they had their beef.
Yeah, because they never had a blow-off match because Ahmed Johnson.
Ahmed
Johnson kept getting injured.
No, Ron Simmons beat him up, didn't he?
His debut was kicking Ahmed Johnson in the kidney.
No, because he was getting Ahmed Johnson back for Ahmed Johnson injuring him, isn't it? That was the story.
It might have been
because Ron Simmons had to take time off.
Yeah, when Simmons done that, come on.
It's I promise it's Ron Simmons. There's Jay. This is worth pointing out. So Jay in the comments here, we've got some other picks going on. So we're talking about here Undertaker Mick Foley, watching that live. Hell in a Cell from King of the Ring '98. I mean, yeah, being there live for that one,
yeah,
that would have been insane.
I think so.
The one thing about that match is that, like, I've done this. For anyone that doesn't really like wrestling or is unsure about wrestling, if you're going to pick a match to show somebody, and especially the ones that it's fake, it's not real. If you pick a match to show somebody, mine's always that one.
Yeah,
always show them that, and it's weird because they've recently done that thing with Mick Foley and Taker where the watch along where they watch that match back together.
That was good.
And Mick Foley says in the interview that's something he hears a lot now because apparently Mick Foley was really kind of hesitant and kind of upset, borderline really, of like always being asked about that match because he was kind of sad that like of all the stuff he's done, that's what he's going to be remembered for. But obviously, in more recent years, he's seen the positive of that because like no matter what else you've done, like that will live on. It's still talked about today. That literally is a moment; it will live forever. And that's the irony, because Foley would always talk about, watching Snooker jump off the cage in Madison Square Garden. And like Foley is that to us. So like that fall from the initial fall from the I mean, obviously both, but it's that, for the love of mankind.
Yeah. But like the
No, that's Michael Cole's one. Yeah. By God, it's killed him. That's God, that's my whole
Oh, he's dead.
He's dead. Yeah, that's the one. I'd show that match.
I think it's on the network, but I'm not 100%. Because obviously the new layout they've done.
Oh, that new layout.
It's better looking on the YouTube channel than it is anywhere else. But
he's dead. He's dead.
What about watching the Triple H Cactus Jack Hell in a Cell when they do the backdrop for the cell?
Yeah, that's different though.
Would that have the same impact? Because it obviously would break the ring.
Yeah, but you knew. Yeah, so obviously it's a really awesome spot. We're not doing it, are we? Like it's great. But it's just that it was the first time is always going to be the most memorable. And especially going through the cell because it wasn't meant to happen.
Do you feel the same when you watch Shane McMahon's the Steve Blackman one or the one against Big Show, when he's jumping off the side of the stage?
That Steve Blackman one, which, by the way, Steve Blackman, I think is going to return at the Royal Rumble.
Konkanok is going to turn at the Royal Rumble.
I've said it for how many years have I said this?
Probably 10, 12,
it's more than 10
15,
years.
20.
I think it's 11 years I've said I've called Steve Blackman for the Royal Rumble, and 1 year I'll get it right.
It's going to happen.
And I'm going to, I'm going to bust a nut.
It's going to happen one way or another.
Or another. Blackman is the GOAT. Absolutely. Jay acknowledges Steve Blackman. That's who we should acknowledge. Let's acknowledge our lethal weapon.
I'm Steve Blackman.
But yeah, that one is awesome, and that doesn't get talked about anywhere near as much. That's a good SummerSlam.
2000.
Yeah, that's a good SummerSlam.
Jay, by the way, you know how you're watching 2000 like Raw and SmackDown. Where are you up to now? Because I think you said King of the Ring 2000 was the last time.
I like how you're pausing for him to like talk back to you.
Well, he's got to.
Well, he's got to type, hasn't he?
Because I tell you what I've been watching. I was going to watch one episode of Raw and then just like leave it for a bit. I watched the show, the SummerSlam 2003, the Raw after SummerSlam 2003, and I was going to watch it just like because I haven't had time to watch it. And the reason why I watched like the next week was because it ended with the Kane Shane McMahon fire dumpster.
Oh yeah, this is around the point where we're going to get the electrocuted bollocks.
Yeah, that was the next week.
That's the best. Wrestling is great.
And then
Jay's answered your question.
I said, yeah, okay. Yeah, have you been watching? Because I was thinking about should I watch Unforgiven 03 because I watched the weeks leading up to it, but I haven't watched it in a long time. It's the funny thing is watching these shows is Maven gets a kind of main event push.
Maven was getting a big push.
But this is before the ones the year later. Because it's funny because 1 week he's facing Orton when he's got Shawn Michaels as his manager. The next week he's in the 6-man tag main event with Goldberg and Shawn Michaels. Then he's not on TV really for the next couple of weeks. Yeah,
but that happens a lot, doesn't it?
No. And also another thing, I don't know if I remember this or not, but there's a pre-intro to the Evolution theme. Not like, you know how...
Yeah, it was the car, wasn't it?
No, it's like a fanfare, a 5-second fanfare, then hits into the music. I don't remember that at all.
Nope. Yeah, that's where Jay's at. The investigation into who ran over Stone Cold.
Oh, it says after Unforgiven 2000, which is... That's the Triple H Kurt Angle blow-off, which was a good match, but I felt like they ended a bit too quickly.
Everything was quick in 2000, though, wasn't it? Like, how many title changes?
Loads.
Different time. And I think that's, again, that's probably where most of the people don't like the Roman Reigns stuff because of the long title reign. I think is largely because, like, again, a long title reign, people aren't really used to it so much. Yeah. And I guess there's like a point of that where it's like a generation where you're used to having those titles change all the time. We're in that kind of like day and age now where the attention span's much shorter. Like you're going to, you know, are you going to click on this seeing that it's over 40 minutes long, or are you going to click on a 1 minute clip? Yeah. It's one of those things, isn't it? So,
because what was it? In 2000, the WCW title would change hands like 26 times in a year. And that's including vacancies.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's like TNT title, isn't it?
There's that. And the WWE tag titles in 99 changed hands about 20 times. That's, and the IC title changed hands like nearly every month. That was because of the Monday Night Wars. And obviously it was going to be, do you want people to change the channel? Now that you got Raw on like one day, NXT's the next day, Dynamite's the next day, and you don't have that flipping over.
No one cares about TV ratings anymore. The only people that really seem to care about them are the people that don't need to care about them. Like, and it's fans. We don't really live for TV ratings. Like, those days are gone.
Yeah, because what was it?
They're so far gone. Like, everybody streams.
Yeah.
You're watching it through Peacock, or you're watching it through WWE Network, if you can find it on there, because that layout is a joke. Yeah. You're watching it through YouTube, and you're watching it through TikTok and whatever else, your clips that you're getting on your socials and stuff. Like, come on, like nobody cares about you. You can't just look at a TV rating. You've got to you have to add everything up. Well, because TV ratings work weird anyway.
Yeah, because they made a big deal out of the tribal trial on SmackDown was nearly like 3 million or something like that.
Yeah, but based on YouTube. But then how many of it? How much are you?
Oh no, this is the actual
on the TV
rating.
rating. That's what I mean. Like 3 million to actually be watching TV these days.
And the LA Knight Dark segment before the show had like more views on that than that segment on SmackDown.
Because it trends on what's hot at the minute, and it's not always the good stuff. You remember one of the biggest, highest viewed videos was back in 2020 when they was doing that awful Bobby Lashley Lana stuff. And it was one of the segments between two of them, and it had like one of the most viewed videos.
Well, one of the most viewed videos of all time in WWE is the Bobby Lashley Braun Strowman arm wrestle.
See, it's weird stuff, but it's just what people look at, you know.
Actually, I don't know if
ratings are stupid. Anyway.
I think the highest viewed video on Impact Wrestling's YouTube channel was, I think it's Velvet Sky flashing, but you don't see anything. So why is it still got like 100 million views?
Clickbait.
True.
That's exactly why it is. Because you're going to go on it thinking, oh, is that what I'm going to say? No, thanks for the view.
I think one of WWE's most rated videos is Brett Khali winning the world title.
Yeah, it was a good moment.
It is a good moment.
Yeah, I love that. I actually like Khali. Like, he seems like a cool dude, but watching him wrestle was just the worst.
Him singing "Deck the Halls" with Santino Marella.
Yeah, that was perfect.
That should be 150 million views, whatever that battle royal is.
But ratings. Great Khali. Yeah, ratings. I don't know. I think we're probably coming to the end. We've talked, we've rambled, we've had a nice little catch up. We're basically keeping up appearances. Got to get one out in July.
Because we got Wrestle Crate next week, I think it's delivered. But we don't know when we're going to be able to film it.
We'll be doing, get a Wrestle Crate out. We've got Raven coming up in that, actually.
We do, actually.
Yeah. I've seen what the next month's exclusive is going to be.
Yeah. I feel like I shouldn't do it, but I've got them on Facebook and Instagram and everything, so I know who it is.
Well, it's the exclusive, isn't it? It doesn't matter, does it?
No, really.
Doesn't matter. It's fine.
No one cares. Anyway. No one cares about it, Jay.
Jay's birthday next week as well. Maybe we'll do a birthday episode.
Could do.
Do a birthday, make a cake. You seen that show? Is it cake?
Well, what is it? Is it not cake?
No, but that's the point, because they make these cakes look so good. They look like they're not cakes.
What's it on?
TV.
No, but what channel? It sounds like a Channel 4 thing.
Oh, I can't remember. It'll be a streaming one. You probably find some on YouTube. Probably. Find it. It's really good. Is it cake? It's a good show. Anyway.
Is there anything else that we normally do that we need to do?
We could have probably done with like a mid-year review type thing.
Yeah, it's now July, so
that's half the year, and that's our review.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks for joining us. Everybody.
I think it's a better half year this year than it is last year.
Well, we didn't really. It was from SummerSlam onwards where we kicked into that new era.
Yeah, because it's nearly a whole year since Triple H took over creative.
Well, that's changed a little bit somewhat now, hasn't it? With Vince is still there and doing rewrites.
Yeah.
So it's not, but look, the product's good by and large. That's all I want. So AW's got some glimmers of hope, and we're going to be in Wembley.
Yes.
In just over a month's time.
End of August.
Yeah. So we'll be there seeing Jungle Boy, Jack. Well, he's not with Jungle Boy now, is he?
Well, the FTW champion.
The spoiler warning.
Who cares? He won it on Dynamite anyway.
But yeah, that'll be us. We'll get some videos up. Well, I'll get some videos up. Are you going to take videos?
I might do. It depends on like really how.
We're on YouTube. You need to get videos.
I know, but I want to know how good the setup of the arena is before I decide. Because if someone's in the way, I can't just like go, well.
What?
Well, if people are in the way and I can't get a good video.
In the way of what?
In the way of my video.
But you'll be why you'll be sat down in Wembley looking at the ring, right? Because the way they do the seats, I'll tell you, this is a spoiler. The way they do the seats, you sit down and it's like you're facing the ring so you can see all the action.
Yes, but if someone's big and they get in the fucking way.
But you stand up and you just hold it above the head, wouldn't they? because it's seated, you know, like because you sat down. You're like, what we're doing now. Fucking hell. But yeah, Wembley, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
London,
Went past it.
We didn't even talk about WrestleMania, London. Oh, we suck. Yeah, well, it might happen anyway. We hope it does.
It might not happen.
What? Why?
Because WWE say it and they say it a lot.
They wouldn't just say that and not make it happen.
It's more weird that Cena was there than it was that actually said it. For me, he was like, what's Cena doing there? He's not filming, is he?
Well, look, they wouldn't have said it if it wasn't. You've seen that, Ashley Logic. That was your logic right there. They wouldn't. They would not do that if it wasn't a genuine.
I swear they've done it loads of times when they've been in the UK.
Yeah, but that's been for like house shows and shows that people aren't watching. This was a proper PLE.
But I feel like they've done it when they did remember they did like.
They're going to do it because AEW has come so close to selling out Wembley. With not one match announced.
No.
They're not going to let AEW set the all-time attendance record of any stadium in the UK for a wrestling event.
And plus, they do it 2 days, so it would be better.
Exactly, because they'll class WrestleMania as 2 days worth, which is going to be like 100,000 people, isn't it? They might even they'd probably get close to that per night.
I actually found out why there was a show at Wembley the same day as Money in the Bank. It was Def Leppard and Motley Crue.
That was it. Apparently, there was like nobody in it. Like, it was a really they could have just done that in an arena. If you see the setup of that, you'd have had plenty of room to film it.
Mm.
But yeah. Well, anyway, why don't you let us know in the comments below whether you're listening to us on any podcasting platform, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcast,
I was on Spotify,
Audible, Amazon. I think technically we're still on Audible. Stitcher's gone though.
Is it gone?
Yeah, gone where it's going. So we won't be there anymore.
I was going to say Poacher, but that's something else, isn't it?
Poacher?
Is there a saying called Poacher?
Yeah, they take tusks.
No, I'm sure it was like a streaming or something like that. They're called Poacher.
What are you on tonight?
I swear there's something called Poacher.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Maybe, might be. I'll eat my words. If there's something called Poacher, I'll own up to it. Put my hands up. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's a poacher, to be honest with you.
I feel I don't know why I feel like there is, but there probably was like years ago, not anymore.
Anyway, wherever you're listening to us, leave 5 stars. You know, I don't think we warrant 5 stars like a lot of the time, but you should just do it anyway. You know, it pays nothing to be kind, does it?
Yeah, give us 5 stars. We won't drop us on our head like a 5-star match happened on Forbidden Door.
You've been dropped on your head.
I feel like I have.
You have tonight. What are you talking about?
You're not seeing the Tiger Driver until...
Yeah, I've seen it. That was like weeks ago.
Yeah. And I got given 5 stars.
That was 6 stars, actually.
Was it 6?
Yeah.
Still ain't seen it.
I'm sure. 6 stars that was given by Daddy Dave Meltzer.
I'm guessing he gave the FTR Bullet Club Gold 5 stars as well from Collision.
So I'm gonna try and do the wrap up.
Do it then.
Unless you want to do it. Do you want to do it?
No.
No, go on. Let's see what you got.
That's the wrap up. Bye. See, that's why you don't give it to me. You do it.
Yeah, I mean, just leave us 5 stars. We'd be ever so grateful. You can leave comments on Apple and Spotify also. No, I think you can only leave comments on Spotify. I'm lying. But you can leave 5 stars on both. But wherever you listen to us, wherever you get your episodes from, whether it's YouTube, whether it's any of those, follow, subscribe, whatever the lingo may be. That is a massive help as well.
Mm.
So do that.
123 subscribers on YouTube now.
Yep.
By the time we got to 125, we'll celebrate that.
Get us to 124. That'd be good.
All right, I'll take 124. It's little by little.
I'm done.
Good.
So wherever you are, everybody, thank you so much for joining us for the episode. We'll have a plan for the next one, maybe, probably not, but we'll try.
We'll see what we can do.
We'll see what we can do. And 1,000 next week. Jay's aiming higher. That's what we should be going for. 1,000 subscribers by next week. Otherwise, Ash is going to have to do a dare. Got to do that now. It's on the internet. 1,000 subscribers next week, or you have to do it. 1,000 subscribers by next week, and we'll make them do a dare.
No, you won't.
Oh, yes, we will. But yeah, everybody, wherever you are in the world, do look after each other. Stay safe. We'll catch you in the next one. I need a drink.
I need to sleep.
You need something. Say bye then. Go on, do a proper sign off.
Bye. That's TMOF Wrestling. See you later.
Best you got?
Yeah.
Okay.